Wonder what our blind spot is. Ooh, I think we have seen this before. Number 3. What's our blind spot, Cancer? I feel like we're not going to like it, too. Ah! Okay. Card number 3 is their motives. Hello, Connective. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Subscribe, comment, and like without smashing anything, and let's get into this energy. This is a collective reading for Cancer. Cancer, we've already pulled your overlying and underlying energies for this reading, and I am already getting messages, but I would like to get the cards from the energy oracle first before we start talking about it. Just an FYI, I'm not going to do an extended for this video. The extendeds might go away for a short period of time as I do some stuff on the back end of my business. So it's just going to be this reading for this one, if it does resonate. And then I am bringing back the blind spot. So the blind spot we usually do in the extended readings. We're going to do it here in this one because I don't want to give up my blind spot cards. So let's get the energy oracle to talk, and then we'll kind of go from there and see what's up. All right. I mean, I'm getting some general messages, but yeah, I would like some kind of like context from some of these other cards to put the messages in. There's a little bit going on here for a general reading that has the general message, but still needs to be expanded upon. I would like, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would like 2 more cards. If I don't get 2, I'm pulling 3. I'm going to go through it one more time. Okay. Okay. Let's see what these are. All right. Keep them together. Okay. So let's do overlying energy, and then we're going to hop right into the energy oracle because we're going to need them to talk about this. But basically the overlying energy for you from the Akashic deck was the scribe. So sometimes this comes up as like you're writing a book or you're writing something, could be. I'm picking this up as you're trying to like create your life. You kind of figured out that you do have creative control and you're trying to like write your life, but there's some things that are getting in the way of that. So for the overlying energy from the Universal Law deck, we have the Law of Immortality, which is time is only of the essence for your full expression. So I want to explain this card after I explain the underlying energy. So for the underlying energy for the Akashic deck, we have the Muse. Okay, so this is, it's the Muse, but I'm taking it more as like inspiration for the next happening. And the next happening happens to be the 8 of Forces, which is the lightning bolt. So this would be like mostly like the Tower in like a regular tarot deck. But this is more than just a happening that, disrupt someone's life. This is like literal like splitting up of things, or like a disappointment, or like the breakup of a relationship. But I am reading it as that, and like more of like a tower energy. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a relationship. It can be a happening that something, that throws you off kind of thing. A big thing, a big happening. And then there's the law of divinity. Within you is the source that created the entire universe. So these cards all go together, and so that's why I wanted to read them before I actually talk about them. So the way I'm picking up all these cards is, like I said, you are the scribe, right? So you're trying to write your situation into reality, and you have this like your full expression on your side. But what's happening is, because you're getting I'm picking up this Muse as like inspiration to get involved in the wrong thing. Like, we were talking about like people who get sucked into arguments. So let's use that example. Literally was talking about that recently. But so let's say that you are you and you're in this situation, we'll just call it a relationship, where you're constantly getting sucked into like these fights. Okay, so let's just say you don't like to fight, but you're constantly fighting. This is a really good example, actually. This lightning bolt isn't the fight. It's like the fallout from the fight. And let's just say that every time you have a fight and then there's a fallout, like the fallout gets worse, right? This happening card, right? Maybe people hold grudges, or let's say you live with someone who wants to torment you afterwards because you said this or you did this, or maybe you didn't do anything but they just want to torment you. And so what's happening is this. So you're making decisions based on getting sucked into this fight. So you're writing into your life that you don't want to fight, but then you're getting sucked into the fight with someone else, right? And then there's this fallout. And what this card is telling me, this law of immortality, time is only of the essence for your full expression, is the reason why you keep getting this fallout, or we'll just call it the lightning bolt. The reason why you keep getting the lightning bolt is because you're reacting to someone else. So you're not using your full expression. You're not using your power to like create what it is. You're supposed to be like, it's almost like writing a book and expressing yourself, but you're not expressing yourself. You're reacting on someone else, right? Which is causing these lightning bolts. And then this is the universe saying, hey, if you want to keep doing that, you can keep doing that. We're going to do this, right? Over and over again until you get it. It's like you're not using your full expression, so you're not acting on your highest excitement. You're acting out of anger or whatever that thing is that's causing you to get sucked into these fights, right? But then every time it happens, there's more and more of a rift that is in between the two of you. It's almost like every time you get into a fight, the universe says, as you wish. You get into another fight, the universe says, as you wish. And this is going to keep, the universe is saying that this can keep happening as long as you've got energy to make this happen, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Cancer. Let's get into the energy cards. So we have the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. So this is our crown. So a lot of times when we are trying to be like better people, or we're trying to ascend, or we're trying to like not fight, sometimes it can be a little bit of battle to not get sucked into stuff like that. Like you'll end up getting sucked into it, see the person that you are, go, I don't want to be that person. The next time you'll be better at getting not sucked into it. But sometimes you know, with certain people, you could just be reactive. And so the universe is saying, and we can keep doing this cycle. If you want to keep doing this cycle, we'll do another round of this cycle, because the power that you're using to get into this argument is the same power you're using to perpetuate this nonsense. The universe is responding to you. It's responding to your actions, what you're thinking and what you're doing. Basically what you're writing into your existence. That's what you're choosing to express. So the universe is willing to continue to give it to you, because you're kind of barking up the wrong tree. It's basically what it's saying. And then you have 3rd chakra, Archangel Chamuel, so our power center. So a lot of times too, when people suck us into like arguments and things like that, we do lose a little bit of our power in the situation, because we come off as a little weak, because we can't stand on our own. We can't state our sovereignty without arguing about it. So we are actually giving our power away. And again, the universe is saying, if you want to keep giving your power away to whoever wants to come along and try to take it, we're going to let you, and you can keep doing this over and over again, as you wish. So we also have the thinking man. This just could be you thinking. You might know you're in this situation. You might be trying to get out. You might not know how to get out, because this person is really good at sucking you into whatever loop they're trying to do. It doesn't have to be an argument. It could be any cycle. And the universe is basically saying, like, we can do this for lifetimes, technically. Door to Spirit, So a lot of times this is like spiritual awakening. A lot of times when we're in spiritual awakenings, we do get, I mean, everybody's in a spiritual awakening, but when you're in what I call an active spiritual awakening, you do get these situations where you have to sort of transcend to get out of it, especially if you're like an empath or something and you're like dealing with narcissists. The lesson is to say no. The lesson is to walk away. The lesson is to leave the narcissist on their own and let them mess with somebody else. Then let them run another cycle with somebody else. You can't save everybody. You can only save yourself. Sometimes you're in it because you need to learn something. It's not happenstance. I mean, it could be, but a lot of times you wouldn't have been in it that long if there was nothing from it, nothing of it, nothing to gain from it. And especially when I feel like I've noticed, like when there's a pattern or a cycle involved, you're like stuck to that person until you can get out of it. Sometimes getting out of it is just not running the cycle anymore. You don't have to fight and break up, especially like if this person is your family. You go to Thanksgiving dinner, this person starts talking, you get sucked in, they go, I just want them to stop. And I tell people, if you want them to stop, you have to stop. If you keep giving them what they want, they're going to keep doing it. If you stop giving them what they want at Thanksgiving dinner and then another family member starts giving them what they want, this is going to go on for every Thanksgiving dinner. The universe will will do it Christmas and Halloween too. So we also have 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. So now our throat's on the table. So sometimes it is as much as telling someone, stop it. Stop it. I'm not going to fight with you anymore. I don't care what you say. If you want to completely 100% damage this relationship, I'm willing to do that because I'm sick and tired of running this cycle with you. I mean, it can be said. Whether or not they will listen to you is something totally different, but that's sometimes why we walk away. Oh, you didn't hear me? Maybe you can hear me from way the hell over there, right? Or sometimes you just, your absence says it all. Oh, that person really wasn't playing. No. And then you have woman holding a coin. So this could be affecting your money. That might be what you're thinking about. I'm not picking this up as overthinking. And this could be like, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this cycle? You know, I can't speak. My power center is being affected. This is messing with my spiritual awakening, and I'm all tied up, right? In this contract of perpetual, I was going to say perpetual youth, but perpetual nonsense. All right, let's move forward. It's got an extra card to pull in this. So let's see what Alice has to say about this one. We're not taking that. Oh, I guess we are. Okay. Wow. Sure. You know what we should do? Like when we have other readings, we should just pull all the cards from the other readings and talk about those too, because the same cards keep coming out. I'm going to go through it one more time. I've got plenty of cards on the table, but that was just weird. Let's make sure nothing else wants to speak here. All right. So here we are. We're talking about creating your own, life. And then we have belong to your own dream, create your own life. This card is telling you, do not get sucked into other people's stuff. It's not just a distraction, it's a ploy. It's designed to take you off your spiritual path and engage with them in a bunch of nonsense that's lower level that everybody should have outgrown by now. Sorry. Sometimes I just say stuff, but that's what I'm getting. And this is falling, the unknown, descent, momentum, change. So to me, this card is always the act of changing. Sometimes we're in these situations and we run these cycles and we run these patterns and we're like, I don't want that person to feel this way about me. I need to defend myself. And we keep defending ourselves and we keep defending ourselves and we keep defending ourselves. And then we get to the point where we go, I don't care what you think at all about me or anything else. You get tired. There has to be a way to break that cycle. It can't just be all about obeying the lightning bolt, right? This person, this muse. I love that name for this situation because that's really what this is, the inspiration to keep yourself down. And then we have, I wonder what will happen next. Ready to adventure, precipice of change, pause before action. So a lot of times this, I pick this up as like the future, like when you're looking towards the future in wonder. But that's exactly not what's happening in this situation. And this is precipice of change. So I have the act of changing here. So for some of you, you may not have changed yet or started to change yet, but For some of you, this is a reminder that every time you get stuck in this, you're stuck in the past. You're not moving towards anything. It doesn't matter what cards show up on this table. And then we have choices, feeling blocked, restrained. Again, first of all, contract card, got a little blindfold on there. But on top of that, we are literally restrained. We're all tied up because we keep getting stuck in this. We can't free ourselves from it. When we're stuck in a pattern or a cycle like that, sometimes we have to wait for that cycle to end before the other cycle begins to kind of get out of it. I don't know how to explain it better than that, except for like if you're in something that's like abusive, you kind of know what I'm talking about. There's bad times and good times to leave. Well, there's never a good time to leave when you're in an abusive relationship. Leaving is actually the most dangerous time for you. But it's like sometimes they won't let you leave, and then sometimes they want you to leave. When they want you to leave, that's when it's time to go. So choices. You have choices. If you're still there, you're not always stuck. You're stuck for a while, but you're not stuck forever. Again, the universe is willing to let you stick yourself forever if that's what you want to do, because you're making these choices. You're making this choice to get into this situation. You're making the choice to stay in this situation. You're making the choice to be tied up. This card doesn't have it, but sometimes these types of cards have like a way for the person to escape. They're just standing next to it. They're not doing anything. And then we have use your time well. Make every moment count. So this is my divine timing card. This is not a hurry up or a wait card. This is a kind of like you have stuff to do, and you have to do it like you have a certain amount of time to do it. So like how I said this could keep going forever. Sure, it could keep going forever unless this lightning bolt comes down so hard that it just catches everything on fire. This is a possibility too. It depends on how bad you want to feed this thing and who you're dealing with. All right, let's pull the moons. Belong to your own dream. These people don't have to be in your dream. Sometimes we try to change other people because we want to relate to them differently. And it's like, you can relate to them any way you want. They can relate to you any way they want. You can still have your dream. It doesn't have to be with them, especially if they know you want them to be in your dream. Sometimes people want to be the villain in your dream. Like they're not there for you. A lot of times they're getting something from you or getting something out of you. And a lot of times with us, like especially if you're an empath, we'll give without expecting anything back. We don't even realize we're giving because that's just the way we are. But people understand when they're getting stuff from you. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't have to be material. You could be like, well, I'm not spending any money. You don't have to. Your energy says it all. A lot of times that's what people want. So we have full moon in Sagittarius. See the bigger picture. So there might be a Sagittarius involved with you, Cancer. And we have first quarter moon in Virgo. Assess the situation. Might be a Virgo. Assessing the situation is pause before action. I know it's here. In your next move. The next time somebody tries to get you involved in the stickiness of whatever situation it is, you already know what's coming because you've been doing this before. So the next time you get out or you're getting out of the cycle when you're waiting to like exit, you can figure out what you're going to do the next time somebody starts that cycle. You probably know this person well enough to just stop everything in its tracks. Sometimes we're afraid to do it. We know what we have to do, but we're afraid to do it. Trust and believe. You keep running this cycle, you're going to get to the point where you're going to want to do it. I would advise you not to wait to that point because then it might be done in a way that you could have done it a better way had you not been so exasperated by the situation. So we also have full moon in Libra, find a balance. This is what we're talking about. When you act and you're trying to get out of stuff or you're trying to defend yourself or you're trying to stop a cycle, you have to do it with integrity. It's a lot stronger if you speak it with integrity than if you start flying off the handle and throwing stuff. That's what they want sometimes. First, especially if you're throwing your stuff. First quarter moon in Cancer, push through any insecurity. So this is you. I don't know if I can deal with this person. This person's a lot of work, blah, 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 blah. You know, you don't... I hate to say it that way because people misconstrue stuff, but you don't have to actually end things before you leave. Again, sometimes that's part of the cycle, is for you to want to end things, and then for them to say the thing, and then for you to come back, give them another chance, and then we do this again, and then we want to end things, and then they talk us back into it, and so for them it's starting over, and for us it's giving them another chance. So they get to do this over and over and over again, and we get to get hurt over and over and over again through our perspective, and they keep getting chances over and over again, so they haven't done enough damage the first time. That's why you don't allow it to happen. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't know how to act. Maybe you should go find somebody else. Right? You get tired. You don't care what they think anymore. You don't care what they do anymore. You go, you know what? I was never tied up to begin with. I'm out. Wonder what our blind spot is. Ooh, I think we have seen this before. Number 3. What's our blind spot, Cancer? I feel like we're not going to like it too. Okay. Card number 3 is their motives. This is what we're talking about. Purposely getting you in this cycle. If you weren't in this cycle with them, they wouldn't have any company. Because if you left, they would run this cycle most likely without you. If they needed another person to run this cycle, they would find another person to run this cycle. They might miss you, again, because of what you were giving them, but not because of who you are. Again, that's being taken for granted. So it's one of those things where you're only good until you're running their cycle. When you stop running their cycle, then you're no good to them anymore, usually. Like I said, they'll try to get you out the door. They'll try to get you to fight. They'll try to get you to, you know, it's like when you're splitting stuff up and you got to argue about every single pan in the kitchen, right? Like you've made pancakes in the last 3 years. No, just let it go. Let them have all of you. Oh, okay, you want to make pancakes? Go make pancakes. They know damn well that you know damn well that they're not going to make pancakes. It's a big joke. But if you treat them that way, they'll stop treating you that way because they'll know that you're smarter than that. So remember, don't buy in. Don't get stuck in the cycle. They start realizing you're serious. They might treat you differently, but just remember who they are. And remember who you are, Cancer. I'm going to leave you with that until we meet again.